Coming to you from the Hart Building in historic downtown Marysville, getting into all the dirt from the gridiron game, it's time to huddle up with your host, Adam Avalos.
Play action, Stafford on the move, stops, finds his man, touchdown Williams.
Thank you for joining us. Huddle Up on 93Q. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. We are watching the playoffs. This is our first playoff episode. We are in-house watching the playoffs. We are watching the Rams versus, I thought the score said something different there. We're watching the Rams versus the Vikings. Rams head here early 10-3 in the second quarter. We were all kind of, before the show started, we had kind of a controversial play. It looked like Matthew Stafford maybe fumbled, and then they recovered for a touchdown, the Vikings. But it got overturned, and we all agree with the overturnage, right? Or do we think that it should be a Vikings touchdown?
Well, I mean, with the rules the way they're stated, he did a little Mahomes flick, and that's an incomplete pass.
It was a little Mahomes flick, but that's how the rules are. Yeah, and so that's what they let go. So the score is correct in our eyes here. It is 10-3. The Vikings are trying to get back in this thing here. I mean, they're playing the Rams. You guys know how I feel about the Rams. I obviously got the Rams in this game. We're going to talk about this game, all the games that have happened. This, obviously, the last of them all. But what do you guys think here? Who do you guys think is going to win this game? Any key points for the Rams or the Vikings to have to win this game? What do you think, Keegan?
I think if they watched that Detroit game last week, they would see that obviously rushing Sam Darnold and then running the ball. That was what Detroit did so well last week.
Yeah, they kind of gave him the blueprint, right? I wanted to touch on a little bit, too. I guess I kind of forgot as we started the show, but, some big things going on. We're from California here. We're from Northern California, kind of close to the Sacramento area, but obviously some huge wildfires going on in the Southern California region. And this game here in particular, the Los Angeles Rams won the NFC West, and so they were awarded a home game, as you are when you win your division. And the Vikings had to travel here. They were expecting to probably come to Southern California, but because of all these fires, Glendale, the home of the Arizona Cardinals, they opened up their facility and they're playing the game there. It looks good on TV. Looks like they got all the paint down, and things like that. But not a true home field advantage for the Rams, right? They're playing in Arizona.
Yeah.
So
I learned something new today, and I was kind of like, I don't know if it had anything to do with it. It's because it's a little weird.
No, I love it. Hey, where you're going with this?
We got a lot of insurance issues here in California.
A ton of insurance issues.
And this game was moved to State Farmsville.
Oh, interesting, huh?
Are you throwing some conspiracy theories out there, Ryan?
I mean, if they're going to have to pay a lot of insurance policies, nice to have a game at their stadium.
We could do a whole show. This would be more a real estate thing. I am a real estate agent, but this would be more a real estate thing. But the insurance wave that's going to create. I have, I work with a lot of people up in the foothills and things here, and fire insurance is so hard to come by right now. They did it over the top. This has nothing to do with football, but football. Los Angeles Rams have been affected by this. We're from California, so it's big for us. But they did it kind of over the top on Zillow. And if you look at like a Zillow map, it'll kind of, their thing is like the Zestimate. They'll give you like an estimate on your house or whatever. And they did it over the top of one of those neighborhoods in the Pacific Palisades, and all of them were like 5.09 million, 7.2 million. This isn't like, people think these are like sprawling estates. These are like your typical like suburban house, not a lot of lot size around them, maybe like a quarter of an acre. It's just for the area they are. That's how expensive they are. Like a normal house you would drive by, these are selling for $5 million over there. So you got to imagine it's going to really hurt the insurance thing, because like not only do they have the replacement value for a $5 million house is going to a whole block in Yuba City. You know what I mean? And so a lot of stuff there.
I just thought it was a little tidbit that I thought was
Don't
really
get me started
funny.
on insurance. I'll go off all day on insurance, and nobody wants to hear about that. But pray for Southern California, and pray for us as Californians, all the firefighters and things like that, because this is going to make it difficult in the rebuilding effort there. There's a lot of stuff that has burnt down, and hopefully they start to get that contained. But Back
to football.
Back to football, guys. Sorry to bum it out, but that is the reason they're playing in Arizona tonight. They're doing pretty well here. We're still, like I said, this is going to be a little bit of a special episode. We're down one castmate. We had some people with some scheduling stuff, but we're just going to kind of watch the game here today. 10-3 looks like Darnold incomplete pass or a interception. Rams guy is claiming that it's an interception.
Did you just see that roughing the passer? I thought that was questionable.
10 minutes and 14 seconds left.
The punter, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, not rushing. Yeah.
In the second quarter. So we're going to be watching football here. What do you guys think here? Like, we talked about it last week a little bit, but Minnesota, they lost that game, and now they have to play on the road here. I guess it's kind of more a neutral site game, huh? It's not really like.
Well, I'm on the bandwagon with you. I have the Rams in this game.
Yeah, I have the Rams.
I also have the Rams in this game.
You have the Rams as well, huh?
Yeah, I just figured the way that they played. Their style of football, I think that the Vikings have had trouble with that, so that's why I went with them. I want the Vikings to win, but I think
I chose the Vikings.
You're back and forth on this.
Yeah, I was hoping they would be bouncing back, but the Vikings, sometimes you get a loss that's a hard loss, and it's hard to bounce back. And I wonder if that actually has some residual effects on the way they're playing. They're just still kind of feeling it.
100% does.
Yeah, that was really like a first playoff game.
I mean, they played a playoff game last week, and they got destroyed, and they lose your division, they lose home field advantage, they lose number one, and now they got to go back and travel cross country with, unfortunately, the Fires have misplaced everybody, so it's a neutral site, but really, it's really throwing everyone off. Some of my keys here, I think the Rams, they got to keep the ball going to Kupp and Nakua. That's my thing.
All right, cool.
You got to keep them involved. Always. I want to see them having 10-plus touches or 10-plus targets at least in this game to keep it. But they got to keep it, they got to let Williams run it a little bit to keep them honest. Mm-hmm. But I feel like when the Rams got that play action going, they're unstoppable. It is so hard.
I feel like Kupp has been on the old milk carton lately, though. Right?
He has. He hasn't got a target tonight either. So we'll see.
Though.
0 targets tonight, 4 for Cooper Kupp, but they do have Higbee back. And Higbee's got 5 targets tonight, 5 for 58, 500 for 58 yards. Your boy, Darnold, he's got a pick already. 8 for 10, 70 yards with 1 interception.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys 2 questions here. One about Darnold, one about Stafford and their future. Darnold, whether he wins or loses today, does that change anything? Is he the quarterback still for the Minnesota Vikings next year? Is there anything that could happen in this game that would change that?
No, I don't think so.
So JJ McCarthy is benched.
Unless he goes out there and plays Herbert-style football in the first round of playoffs, I think he could easily lock up that position for the Vikings next year.
Vikings next year? Is he's a top guy, though? Does he all of a sudden catapult into, like, top guys in the NFL? Is that how it works these days?
I think with the QB-needy teams that we have in the NFL, if he hits the market, he's definitely going to get some interest.
I think the Vikings have a little bit of negotiating room, though, because their team is so good, and they have J.J. McCarthy. But
it shows that he knows how to run that offense already.
For sure.
Efficiently.
But that's another piece.
They don't even know if J.J. can run the offense efficiently.
That's another piece, though, of negotiating power that I feel the Vikings have, though, because he's got a, he's been other places and it's never worked out, and then he came here and it worked out. If I'm the Vikings, I'm saying, well, go ahead and test it and see if it works out somewhere else, or stay here where you know what you got, So I think for him, Darnold, I mean, this is the best place for him. He's hoping he can get a good contract from them.
It's win-win from both of them.
Yeah,
I think for me, I think that recency bias will come into play if he went and he lost a big game against the Lions, and then he comes and he loses a big game against the Rams, and he finishes the season on those 2. Then I do agree with you. I think that they will be able to negotiate with him, and maybe they don't like it. Do you guys remember Case Keenum? Do you remember that big season he had with the Vikings?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sure that's in their memory as well. So
you're right.
I think they may think about it.
Let me tell you guys something. If in a year or 2 from now we look up and Darnold is junk and he's not in the NFL, or he's not, you're not going to find a surprise to me.
Who was the quarterback that was Green Bay that happened like that?
Which one?
Who was the guy from Green Bay that got that big contract from Seattle?
Oh, yeah, Flynn.
Yeah, Flynn.
Yeah, and he just came in a few backup games, had Devontae Adams and a really good...
He had a good season that year.
Yeah,
when he had to come in as
and
an
got a huge...
For me, I totally agree with both of you guys. I just think one of those things is like when JJ goes down in the preseason, your future of the team, and you have the veteran that was teaching him comes in, and he goes down. As a Vikings, you are sitting there now going, oh... We just got rid of our guy last year. We got the backup just in case. This was our future. we're not projected to do very well now. And all of a sudden, Darnold really, I mean, he turned it on. He did better than they expected. You know he did.
Yeah.
I think I hear what you're saying, but look at like the Dolphins. Look at them with Tua, and then you turn around and they're playing Snoop Huntley and some other chap.
I mean, we're still talking about a rookie that hasn't played a game yet.
Sure, but I'm saying that they may not necessarily think that if he wants big money, they may not be prepared to do it if he finishes the season bad.
Yeah, to where if he goes on a run and wins some playoff games, he's getting $60 million. He's gonna be we're gonna turn on the TV and see Sam Darnold as the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Because as a Raider fan, I'm okay with that because I don't know if you've seen the speculations out there right now.
No, what are the speculations?
There is actually a speculation I am really fond of right now.
Yeah.
The Vikings have 3 picks next year in the draft. That's it.
Uh-huh.
A number 1, the first round pick,
So they might
and
want
2
to trade
fifth
some
round,
stuff away.
and 2 fifth round. That's all they have to go for next year. So you have a great team right now with a quarterback is proving.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders have the number 6 pick, and they're looking for a quarterback.
Yeah.
And there's chances that I've seen this write up a couple times that they offer a
That
first
is
round.
so wild that Sam
fourth
Darnold
round.
gets paid for a first round pick this stage in his career.
Other
You know
way
what I
around.
mean?
Other way around. They're going to trade for J.J. McCarthy
J.J. McCarthy?
because
I think I saw that,
Minnesota can
actually.
offload and get capital back. They could potentially get 3 picks for J.J. McCarthy right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to, honestly, I can't sit here and say I've seen enough film on J.J. McCarthy.
No, I'm not saying that, but as a Raider fan, I don't want them to reach for one of the 2 quarterbacks in the draft right now, and I think J.J. is actually better than either of those guys.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. It's just a weird situation that we find ourselves in to where the quarterbacks, they're allowed to play so little amount of a time, but then
We pay them on expectations.
Yes, exactly.
So this is what we got perfectly in Minnesota, right?
But now we have a huge sample size of it not working out, like being so bad. Like there's way more quarterbacks in the NFL now who are highly paid and it's not working out than there are
But come on,
quarterbacks that
Adam.
are underpaid.
It worked out really well with Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, that's
that
exactly No,
that guy?
When we look up the top 10 list of highest paid quarterback guys, it's like I think Burrow's in there. But Mahomes and Josh Allen are not in there. And the other 9 guys are just kind of like, even Burrow, he's not in the playoffs this year. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, man.
It kind of resets, though, each time. You were talking about receivers in the last show as well. It just, the market resets and it resets and it resets.
Quarterbacks get played
like basketball players.
All I'm saying is, same way that I'm going to do it, that I would do with Brock Purdy, I wouldn't let Brock Purdy push me around in the negotiations. I wouldn't let Darnold push me around. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you a good offer. You know, you seem to be playing, gels well with the team, you know, look pretty good here, but look at all these, like, kind of, you know,
best case scenario,
stories.
they tag him and deal with the tag price, right? And run it for one more season.
Yeah, maybe so.
I think Josh said that in the last one.
And that might be the thing that they do. All right, second question, though. So that was for Darnold. Stafford, whatever happens in this game, does that change anything for him as far as, like, retiring? He's not going to another team. But Stafford, as far as retiring, he's mentioned it a little bit.
I'd be surprised he retires
years with some injury stuff.
But they've had an awful year. Like, they're in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely. I think you could agree with this. This team could have been a lot better this year.
Way better, yeah.
If without the injuries.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think regardless of the outcome, I think Stafford runs it back and he just continues over there in LA and runs it with the team that he has right now.
I wonder if Aaron Donald is watching it with a little regret, like he wish he would have stayed a little bit longer. Because they got another chance again. You know, he could go for another one. I know he's getting up there, you know, but you can't tell me. I mean, he was one of those guys that, like Barry Sanders.
Was he under contract when he left?
He left at the prime of his career, so he could absolutely still play. You know,
and Marshawn and just show up for the playoffs.
Dude, why not? Why don't they call him up? Why don't they call him up? And I'm not a Rams fan, obviously. I'm anything but. I've watched that guy sack my quarterback a million times, but I don't know. It just seems like he's just sitting on the couch. Just call him up. The great, like maybe the greatest defensive player of all time, 1 year removed. He could probably get out there and blow a play up.
You know, he's still doing it.
Yeah. But
he still probably goes to the gym with them all.
Dude, that guy just jacked on top of jacked. But anyways, so Stafford, obviously he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Already won a Super Bowl with the Rams. But you think that no matter what happens here, whether they win or they lose, Stafford comes back next season?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I see.
I know we're talking on the subject. Is he under contract or is he a free agent?
I don't know, but I'm sure he's under. I'm sure whether he's under contract or whether he was a free agent, he'd probably come back there, and they'd give him the boat for one season, you know. But I don't know. I think if Stafford, obviously, if they were to like go far and win the Super Bowl, I think he would for sure retire then. And if I think he exits, I think there's still a possibility he will retire. I think it probably matters a little bit as far as like what's going to happen with like Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and how they're looking.
Well,
and stuff
hopefully
like
they don't reach the game against the Lions and the Lions take him out his old team.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this right here. We just talked about the game that we're watching right now, but when we come back, we're going to talk about some games from this last weekend. Come on back, Huddle Up on 93Q. I'm Adam Avalos with eXp Realty. I'm a born and raised third-generation Yuba Sutter resident who has lived in the area all my life. My office is located at 1429 Calusa Highway in Yuba City, providing commercial and residential services to Yuba Sutter and Butte counties. Whether you are buying or selling, I promise to treat you and your friends and family like my friends and family. More information about Adam Avalos Realtor can be obtained by phone at 530-933-3541 or by following Adam Avalos Realtor on Instagram or Facebook.
As we enter the rainy season and hope for rain, but not too much, we are thrilled to say that in Yuba County, we've made a ton of progress in improving our levee system and reducing our flood risk. But there is still much more to do. At Yuba Water Agency, reducing flood risk is job number one. We are preparing now for more frequent extreme storms. We're already seeing them. And we just want you to know that we are working hard to reduce your risk even more. Learn more about what the future holds at yubawater.org.
Welcome back to Huddle Up. Second segment, we were figuring some stuff out. We always do. We're talking so fast, and then we got to take the break to figure out stuff on our phones. But
it's adjusting our game plan.
Yeah, we adjusted our game plan. I like that.
We're like the Bills.
We're adjusting our game plan.
We get better at each segment.
That's actually true. Third segment, and go do something fun right now and come back in 20 minutes. We'll be a hoot then.
Yeah.
No, we're still having a good time.
Encouraging people to leave.
Go do something. This next segment is not that exciting. We're gonna eat milk peanut butter footballs in studio and tell Keegan's mom how they taste. I don't know. Anyways, so we're still watching the game here, but what we're gonna get to is that Tom Brady played till he was 44.
44, yes.
And Matthew Stafford is 37 right now.
Yes. So, he's 36 right now. He's 37 next month.
He's 36, even more. I mean, he's a young chap, dude. He's younger than me,
man.
He's younger than me, and I feel like I could get out there and, let one fly. But anyway.
What, 15 yards?
Yeah, a little screen pass.
Or are we talking the flag you're going to throw?
Yeah. Yeah, the fat flag I'm going to throw.
Throw one like Stafford did earlier.
But so Stafford, he could come. He could come back. He was doing his Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes impression tonight with that little.
He's like, I like these little shovel passes. They do well.
Yeah, Keegan, we went to commercial break before I asked you though. Anything changed with Stafford based on this game? I want to let you.
No, I don't think so. I think so. It looks like he has 2 more years on his contract. I don't think he's playing bad football. I don't think that he was the reason the Rams were struggling earlier in the year. I think that they obviously, when they got the receivers back, their game picked up, and then I think their defense actually picked up well.
Yeah.
I think that defensive line of theirs is really, really good.
It's one of those things, though. When you're up, your defense can pin back and have fun.
Sure.
So it's a whole different type of game plan. It's not on an edge. You play a little cushion in the back, and you let your guys just pin back and do what they do and have fun.
No,
True. No, yeah, you're right about that, Ryan. I want to know there was a lot of other games that happened this weekend. Honestly, the title of the show here is, I want to make sure I quote it right, but it is episode 22, Playoffs in Full Force, but they kind of suck. And the reason why I chose it is because I saw a lot of people over the weekend. There was even a video I sent you guys. It was like there was only one man that could save us, and it was like Baker Mayfield, with cinematic music because all the games were so terrible. Glad that one ended up being a good one. But of all the games that you watched this weekend, the playoff games, which playoff exit surprised you the most, Ryan? Which one do you think you were like, man, I didn't think it was going to go that way? Even if it was like that you didn't necessarily think that the winner or the loser was going to win that game, but you just thought it was going to be a little bit closer. I think that's what mine's going to be. So what do you think, Ryan?
First game of the week, in my opinion, the Chargers-Texans. It's not the way I saw that game going.
No,
you got two teams coming in the playoffs, both similar schedules, but in my opinion, the Chargers were going on a 3-game win streak. They were averaging 35 points about a game in those 3 games. Their offense was going good. Their defense was clicking on all numbers. And you had Houston. Houston came in. The last 6 games were 3-3. This is a team that lost to the Jets and the Titans.
Yeah.
Granted, the Titans are divisional, so I understand that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just figured Houston, their offense was supposed to be the key of their team, and their defense is actually what won the game.
Yeah.
We have Herbert, who only threw 3 interceptions all year, throw 4 in the game.
4 interceptions.
I will say 2 of them were receiver problems.
That's a career high, though.
Yes. Yeah. So I just didn't see it going that way.
Any reason to worry for the Chargers, you think? Or is it just like they still had a successful season, 11-6. This was kind of like get used to the Harbaugh thing.
I think they did an excellent job for the first year coach and turning that team completely around that hasn't seen the playoffs for a long time.
Yeah. I would have said anyway that the season would have ended, even in a loss, it would have still been a monumental success, and it still is. But the way that Herbert kind of ended the season there with 4 interceptions is a little bit troubling for me. I'm not ready to say that he's not the future or anything like that, but like you said, he hadn't done it all year, and now we get in our first playoff game and like I said, turn the ball over 4 times.
Like I said,
fumble.
Two of them.
Fumble here, watching a game. Looks like the Rams picked it up. And he has jumped into the end zone. So if this stands, this is a touchdown for the Los Angeles Rams, and this would make the score 17-3. Major upset alert. Not here on the panel. We all kind of think the Rams are gonna. If you watch the very first episode, Rams were kind of my dark horse, and they got things going back together. So 3-2 upcoming. It'll probably be 17 after a successful PAT. We're watching the play now. Looks like Darnold takes the snap here, goes back to pass. And he's in the pocket, and definitely the ball.
Definitely out.
The ball gets jarred from him. This is a fumble and a touchdown. 17-3.
That's on Darnold.
Rams.
That's on Darnold right there.
Yeah,
guys.
you're sitting in a good position though if you are the Rams here. Like Ryan said, now we're going to get into a point in the game where the Rams can now kind of pin their ears back, go after them a little bit.
What are the Vikings good at, right?
Going
Big, deep plays.
So now they're not going to be able to do it.
You're down 17-3. You know they got to go deep. You're going to make the game one-dimensional, which the defenses love.
They're going to do Ryan's favorite defense. What's that stuff?
The prevent me from winning. That's my Raider defense.
The prevent. Ryan's favorite
defense.
I think there's still a lot of game left.
There's a ton of game.
They need to not panic.
No.
They definitely do, but I think that the Vikings need to get points on the board right here. It could be a field goal, but there's 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
They need to, before halftime, get something on the board.
Well, this was completely against the run of play. There was just before that, I think it was Akers that lost about 4 yards, and then this fumble, and they score off that. But they were in position to get at least 3. It would have been 10-6. It would have been a different game there.
I know. Yeah,
but I agree. They need to get some points on the board.
Big momentum change.
That's why they say turnovers just change the game completely. Yeah, Stafford.
Yeah, ask Herbert about turnovers and changing games. They're at home watching this game.
Exactly. So we're checking in with that one. So you were surprised most by the Chargers and the way they played.
I was just the way the games went. I thought the Ravens-Steelers game went exactly the way it was going to go. I truly do. I thought the Eagles won the game that they should have won. Last night's game was a phenomenal game. I actually had the Commanders winning that game in the bracket challenge. So I thought it would come down to it. I deeply wanted my Baker Mayfield to just have fun and continue the playoffs.
It was fun.
I just think it would be more fun to have Baker in it.
That's it. It was fun.
But
it wasn't like skill wise. If he would have won the whole Super Bowl, I would have put an asterisk on. I'm like, you're not that good, Baker, but it was a fun time. You know what I mean?
That just broke my heart.
I know.
Did you see that run play by him last night when he dropped his shoulder and bopped the Legion of Boom on the ground?
He trucked that dude.
It was Wagner.
Yeah, it was Bobby Wagner. Man. That guy needs to retire. He's been on like 7 teams in the last 7 years.
He got a game ball last night.
Yeah. No, but Baker, good. Big props to you, Baker Mayfield. You played your heart out last night. I think if they would have had Godwin, some other pieces, and maybe they would have played a little bit, better. But still, it was a good outing. And thanks for giving us a good game. In the whole, I think that was the thing. The playoffs in general were just so terrible. Like none of the games were close. They were all blowouts.
Yes.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
That was the doink game.
Oh yeah. But I want to get to Keegan because I'm like, then because I want to say my answer, but then I'll just forget about Keegan, and I can't forget about Keegan.
Go ahead and do yours, and I'll jump in.
All right.
Come on.
All right. Mine was the Steelers versus the
Okay,
Ravens.
Keegan's turn.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Enough about Russell Wilson out of you. And mine was the Steelers versus the Ravens. It was probably more wishful thinking, but I really thought the Steelers would hang with the Ravens a little bit more. They end the season on a terrible note. I mean, I think they lost like the last 6 games in a row, and now they have this with Russell Wilson. It didn't look good. The fight that I saw from them wasn't good. It's same type of thing as the Chargers. They could have lost the game no matter what, and then the outlook on the season will be great. It was the opposite we were talking about last week about golf, where you'll hit one good shot. It was like they played so good all season, and at the very end, the last game, it was like atrocious, and it makes you kind of think, like next year we could do a lot of things right, but do we have the pieces that in the playoffs are going to come to play? And I think the Steelers now, man, maybe they got to look at themselves like, I don't know, like Russell Wilson, good in the regular season, but yesterday he couldn't get it done.
Well, I think just to mention, Sam Darnold took another sack there. Again, held the ball too long, didn't get rid of it, lost yardage.
Back to pass Sam Darnold. Oh, that was a tight window throw. He made it, though. First down, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a tight window.
This is kind of a home game for LA, though. They're used to playing in this stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they play a lot here.
They're like, we win here.
Great catch from Justin there.
Yeah, that was.
That was a good catch.
What we're really going to see, though, here, because the score is the way that it is, we're going to really see what Darnold can do now.
Yeah.
Because he's down 2 scores, got to throw it in the hurry-up offense. But, Keegan, what was the game that you were most surprised of this weekend, the loss?
Well, before you cut me off, I was going to go Steelers Ravens as well.
What? You were? Why are you joining and chime in?
I'm just playing.
He did say he was going to join in.
I did.
All right, go ahead. Join in, Keegan.
No, I feel sad.
No.
No, so I was just surprised at how they just folded, to be honest with you. And I think
Steelers?
Russell Wilson pumpkined a little bit towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Didn't kind of return to the mean of what we were used to.
I like
from the
that.
last
He
couple
pumpkined.
years.
I think that's a reference to Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Yeah. He kind of did. He turned back. It was like as that night when it was like the wheels are starting to turn
Exactly.
into the vines and all that stuff. This show would be so much better if you could see what I'm doing right now, because it's like I'm really giving
popping and locking it.
I'm popping it and locking it. I look kind of like Gus the mouse though. I just threw that in there. That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
So do they find the glass slipper for next year, or do they the pumpkin is just gone?
Yeah.
Well, I think they have to pay him next year, right? If they want to keep him. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would.
It was
They
a
were
rip
both
to
on
do.
1-year deals.
Yeah.
So both quarterbacks are sitting
Well,
there
Denver
waiting.
was paying him, wasn't?
Well,
wasn't
Denver
it?
paid the majority. They
Yeah.
were paying him league minimum, but it was
Sure.
still a 1-year thing.
Yeah.
So, now it's contract time.
I mean, would you guys sign him? I don't think I would.
I got to admit something, man. As Russell Wilson, that I've said this many times, is he's one of those guys that it's hard for me to realize that he's just not good anymore. Because I watched him thrash me so many times, but he's not as good as he once was. And I'll be honest about this. Pickens and some of the wide receivers and stuff were making some spectacular catches on some of his stuff this season. So it wasn't just
Pickens fell off a lot towards the last part of the games.
And some of the games, Russell had his best games. If you look, Pickens had some of his craziest catches, and so there was a little bit of that. I don't think he's just like take him to any team and he's a top 10 quarterback or anything, but we'll see what they do with Russell Wilson. So we're both really, really shocked by the Steelers game that they didn't put up more of a fight.
No, I was shocked about that game.
What's that?
Total plays for Pittsburgh, 45.
I love the way you say Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. You like that?
I love it, man. Always since I know
Ravens,
the Pittsburgh.
The Ravens
Steelers.
ran the ball 50 times.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is a lot. Yeah, on the highlights you could just see it was a Henry type game. This is a kind of weird, but Keegan's mom, who I love very much,
Was it mom or
his
mom?
Keegan's mummy. She brought us in studio some milk peanut butter footballs. Score 6 rich, creamy football treats for the win.
Are you trying to get another ad from someone?
Exactly. I'm trying to
Nice.
get another sponsorship from
See's
See's
Candy.
You're not getting it from your kicker,
So we're in
Mooney,
studio.
because he's the extra point
There's
one.
6 of them. They're so cute
Yes,
in there.
Gary also has one.
They're little candies. There you go. Everybody, we're gonna eat them and tell you at home how they are.
Indeed.
I want a full description.
You're gonna have a crack.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my gosh, is the first part.
it tastes like a Butterfinger.
A Butterfinger or Reese's
but-
peanut butter cup?
That's for you.
Like a Butterfinger. And the thing that's on top of it, the little football, the little decorative football. Yeah, go show the camera, Keen. In case anybody wants to. The decorative football looks to be made out of like a Chico stick or something.
Excellent.
Very good. Very good nonetheless. Before we go to commercial break, we're going to talk, our mouth is full, about who's in the Cool Kids Club. This is a segment we do every single week where we put glasses on in studio and we talk about our favorite player, coach, cheerleader, whomever we want that did awesome this week. And we want to induct them into the Cool Kids Club. So while I keep chewing, Ryan, why don't you tell us who your cool kid is this week? Ryan's still chewing too. It's kind of caramely too.
Yeah, a little bit. It's that's some
I see
really
that
good
thing.
peanut butter.
Man.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
my
Thanks,
Cool
James.
Kids Club, me and King were arguing about this earlier, in my opinion. There were some good players out there this week from the losing teams. But I can't honor the losing teams by being a Cool Kids because you didn't win.
So if
just
you
my
weren't on a
opinion.
winning team, you
That's
can't
me.
be cool.
That's me.
All right,
That's
I
me.
understand.
So I'm going to go with the obvious, in my opinion, of the weekend was Derrick Henry. We've talked about the Ravens. We talked about Lamar winning football games and all that stuff. Derrick Henry had 26 rushes for 186 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 7.2 yards a game. If you're averaging 7.2 yards every time you touch the ball,
Unbeatable.
bye.
Yeah. 2 runs, 14 yards.
That terrible
First
tag
down,
turned
first
into a
down.
white flag,
Yeah.
and it was over. Like,
This is what-
that's my opinion.
This is what they brought him here for.
This is why you bring Derrick Henry.
Exactly.
To help Lamar get over that playoff hump.
So did that game, I mean, we all kind of wanted or we were thinking that we were wishing it would have been closer or thinking it could have been closer. Did that game, did it tell you more about the Ravens' readiness to be able to win a Super Bowl this year or that the Steelers
It
stink?
tells me that next weekend's primetime Sunday night game is going to be a fun game to
I know.
watch.
I got to be honest with you. Some of my picks were because I didn't want that matchup to happen. I so much more wanted the Ravens to play the Chiefs rather than the Bills to play the Ravens. I feel like the Chiefs. I mean, they got
Yeah,
the 1
but-
seed, so they got the bye. I was going to tell a funny joke. Who did I tell?
Not me.
No, I told somebody. Maybe it was Robert or something like that. I told him the NFL is so rigged for the Chiefs. They let them get on to the next round without even playing a game. That was my like cheesy joke. But anyways, yeah, they get to play the Texans. Much easier opponent than either the Ravens or the Bills.
Well, I
mean, the Texans
if,
are
if
no,
the
the
Texans
Texans are good,
defense
but
shows
not
up
better
like
than
they did against the Chargers, then the KC's going to have their hands full.
All right. Well, what do you think?
Well,
We're going to talk about those upcoming games at the end of the segment.
what am I praying to baby
I know.
Jesus about?
I know what you're
Texans.
praying to baby Jesus on. All right, Keegan, who is your cool kid of the week?
So as Ryan mentioned earlier, we had a slight disagreement on what goes into the Cool Kids Club. But I don't necessarily.
No, you don't. It's not a rule. You have to have won the game.
No,
Yeah.
that's my rule, I said.
Yeah, that's right.
That's my personal
That's
rule.
Ryan's rule. That's okay.
For me, it's someone who stands up with a good performance. I think that when I was watching that game, I think the Commanders-Buccaneers game was definitely the most exciting game of the slate. And I think Mike Evans had just such a great game. He was against Marshawn Lattimore, who he's had trouble with in the past.
Oh, he made him look silly though.
He did.
Lattimore, he looked like a little kid out there. He was
Yeah,
tossing him around.
absolutely.
Mike Evans is a bad boy. I like that one. Keegan, keep going.
Yeah. No, and he was just, it just seemed like he was everywhere. And Baker was looking for him. They were connecting on good plays. They got that nice touchdown together. For me, it was just a great game from him.
Yeah.
I love how you're clapping for it, Adam, for the pick of Mike Evans, and then over here Ryan's shaking his head. No, you got this all wrong. It's great, perfect.
Well, I have a slight argument with that. I told you, like, my rule is that you got to win the game. Like,
Yeah,
We're in the playoffs. You lose, you're going home.
You would be one of
I
those.
don't care how cool you are.
You would be like sports
You're
writers.
still going to Cabo.
You would be like one of those sports writers that had a vote, but you put a heavy emphasis on team record.
Nico Collins had better stats.
Well, I had
Sorry,
Terry McLaurin as well.
But
That's
Keegan
true.
was talking about the heart, baby.
I
He was
was,
talking
yeah.
about like
It's all
something
about the
deep
heart.
that you could feel that you couldn't
Indeed.
see, Ryan. You could feel it last night. You know what I
I
mean?
could feel it last night. I will give you that. I watching that game. I felt Baker Mayfield
No.
and Mike Evans' heart last
No,
night.
let me tell you something. I could feel it too because that dude was like triple coveraged a few times and they needed to get a first down. And Baker said, I literally just don't care. I'm going to slip it in. And he would like, there was one play where it's like the two guys' fingertips are like here, two different guys, and the ball goes right through into Mike Evans' hands.
Beautiful.
Like Baker was just looking for him. He knows that's his boy. Mine is Jaden Daniels, my cool kid. a lot for a rookie to come in and beat the guy that we were talking about. I think Baker, they were full of as much fire as you could possibly have for a team, that's going to go out there. And I think that this just kind of showed that the Commanders are just probably the better team.
So do you think he wears the Band-Aid the rest of the playoffs?
I don't know. It looks a cool look. It kind of reminded me of like Nelly.
Yeah.
It's getting hot in here. That one's definitely not allowed on 93 point Q. Get a little bit of
I just had to mute your mic there because I didn't want to hurt anybody's ears.
All right, the first time muted. First time
look
muted
what
on
playoffs
the show.
do. Look what playoffs do. Brings that at him.
Woo! Yeah, but Jaden Daniels, I think a lot going against him as a rookie. I think as a rookie too, I was thinking about it. Like, he's able to lose the game, and nobody's going to be like,
he doesn't look like a rookie out there, in my opinion.
Really?
Man, he looks
great.
Mentally,
he looks like
he
a
looks
veteran.
good, but physically,
Touchdown yet to the Rams.
Man, he is a thin
Puka Nacua
guy.
There
Another
it is,
touchdown
man, they're
here.
pouring it on.
Oh, no, it's Allen.
23.
Oh no!
I thought it was Nakua. I saw
It
the
did.
7 as well. Yeah,
I saw the hair.
Listen, guys. Listen,
celebration.
guys. I'm calling this one dead, dude. I know it's halftime. It's about to be 3-24. Was it Robinson that scored there, or Puka?
Allen.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Actually,
So
I don't
I
even
can't
know
even
that
tell
chip,
now.
I'll be honest.
all right, we're gonna check it out.
It
We're
was
gonna
the
check
Allen
it out.
guy.
Right? Yeah. All right. So third string quarterback or tight end, Allen looks like he scores.
Look how open he was.
Yeah, super open. That's what
There's
happens when you
Puka
get
blocking over there.
That's what happens when you have
Stafford
Puka
got
and
smacked,
Cup
too.
and all those other guys. You get a little more wide open. But 15 seconds left in the half. That's probably where we're going to leave you guys. And it is 24-3. The Vikings in big trouble here. They're behind 3 scores. They got to get 3 touchdowns just to tie it up.
So
what do you
if
got, Gary?
If you're the Vikings here and you're the head coach of the Vikings, you're going to the locker room for halftime. What are you saying to the team to hype them back up?
Gary, that's why I love you,
If
man.
they can score 24.5, we can too.
What he just said is exactly what I was going to say. If it happened in the first half, it can happen in the second. Let's go out there and spank these boys.
Start pounding on some lockers. Let's get hyped up!
Our high school football coach, I always used to know he was like into it when the vein on his forehead started to go off.
It's the same vein you saw in math class when you was mad when you didn't understand it.
Mr. Ersteg.
Shout out to Mr. A.
Yeah, man. Shout out Mr. A. Yeah, he'd get into it. He'd get you fired up. You'd come out of the halftime and you'd be ready to rip somebody up, But I don't know what they say. 21 points is going to be a lot. And to be honest with you, the Rams aren't done scoring. They're going to get in field goal range or score another touchdown. And so for the Vikings, it's go now time. Even right now, if I have a trick play in I'm trying to get in field goal range or something right here.
And they got 2 timeouts as well. So
my thing though is the Rams defense is looking good. Those front 4 are on it right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we are going to come back for the third segment. Huddle Up 93 Q.
Young Champs Athletics Academy is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping young athletes excel in speed, agility, and overall fitness. Their mission is to provide a safe and nurturing environment where young athletes can grow both physically and mentally. Through training sessions, 7-on-7 competitions, full contact camps, and more, Young Champs aims to foster the champions of tomorrow right here in our local community. More information about Young Champ Athletics Academy may be obtained at the Young Champs Athletic Academy's Facebook page or contact Gabe at 530-300-8908 or Art at 530-713-9214. Young Champ Athletics Academy is a proud sponsor of Q Community Radio.
Here's your local weather forecast from community-supported 93Q. Tonight our skies will be clear with a low around 36 and with a north wind at around 8 miles an hour. Then sunny tomorrow with a high near 58 and a southwest wind at around 5 miles an hour. And Wednesday will be sunny with a high near 59. Colder overnight temperatures are predicted for the next couple of days. Areas of early morning frost are possible around the valley, and our daytime highs will be cooler than the last few days as well, topping out in the upper 50s. And look for clear skies through Sunday with variable winds at 5 miles an hour. This weather forecast is sponsored by Yuba Water Agency at yubawater.org. investing in water education programs to support our Yuba County schools. I'm Kurt Baird. Thanks for listening to Community Supported 93Q, and have a good evening.
Welcome back to Huddle Up on 93Q. So glad you are back for the third segment. My friend, my lifelong buddy, and Ryan's brother, Chad, he just messaged me in the middle. He said, in the middle of commercial, he said, "I told you, Stafford is a beast."
Yeah, he's
And
also a Dolphins fan, so he doesn't
Listen,
know a lot.
man, unless you got that on record, show number 1 4 months ago, you can't be claiming the Rams win this game, all right? You got to put it on paper 4 months in advance.
On paper?
On paper. On paper, he says.
You know what I mean, on the radio.
On record, maybe.
So is Chad in on our bracket?
No, why didn't he play? I didn't.
don't
I know.
ask me questions like that.
randomly send out the invites.
It's not like we live like a half a mile from each other. I don't know what he's doing.
Literally, your backyard's touch.
So see, he has no room to talk unless he's in our bracket. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, my wife's playing.
She's probably doing way better than I am.
Oh yeah, she doing
Well,
good.
she's still in, Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
That's harsh.
Gary is the only guy in our bracket. We're playing a bracket. We're
Gary,
gonna-
you've had 22 shows to pick a good bracket, and
Dude,
you already screwed it up.
bracket is a topic.
I was going with my heart deep down, and I thought I had it.
Gary. We all filled out brackets like will you do March Madness or something like that?
Bracket challenge.
And Gary he took the Buccaneers to win the whole dang thing, but it was kind of a smart strategy.
He felt
took
the heart.
No, but he felt Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield, and he said, "I just got to do it." No, but it's a solid strategy because if you are already out. And that's embarrassing, Gary.
No, it's not.
No, it's not that embarrassing.
If you were how much football I watch, it's not embarrassing.
I know. I'm
to
just
me.
joking. I'm just joking. It's not embarrassing. But the thing is that if you were in the mix, see, all of us are still kind of in the mix, but it's going to come down to like minute points, like this matchup or that matchup, and pretty much all of us pick the Bills versus the Lions at the end or something. So
Kelly's the only one who has the perfect one so far, right?
oh, he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on the bracket, I was checking it out today, just kind of screwing around with on the website, and there's a button at the top that says forecast.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. And
So
then it'll show you a path as well.
Adam, you have a 7.5 chance at winning this.
Oh my
That's
god.
it?
That's where he's at percent.
The
chance.
Rams
Yeah.
have to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And lose to the Bills. That's the only way. As soon as the Rams are
It's
eliminated,
looking
I'm
dodgy
out.
for them at the moment.
Yeah. No, I'm looking good right now.
You're spot on right now.
I'm looking good.
Yeah.
Dude. Come on.
I still got the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, though. We're all right.
To play the Buccaneers and lose. Like if I give it to my cat and I say, "Here, fill this out for me." No, that's no knock against you, Gary.
Hey,
No,
you know what?
No, I like
At
your
least you could have
strategy.
said your kid, not your cat.
No,
Come on,
I
man.
don't even
That
have
hurts.
I don't even have a cat. If that makes it better.
even worse.
But no, I was just saying yours was like the most unlikely scenario.
Yes.
But, the payout was
Did
big.
you
Let's
just call him
say.
the cat guy?
No. All right.
All right, next topic.
We're
Next
on
topic.
to
Let's
it.
move it on.
We're
You
on.
fumbled that one.
NFL fans are outraged. They're outraged. We talked about this a few times, so I thought this would be great. And we're in playoffs. I don't know if this is happening this week, but NFL fans outraged by the Steelers-Ravens Prime video game. Prior to kickoff, countless fans ripped the NFL for being greedy. Of course, that's not going to change the league's stance on anything with this particular subject. We're talking about the Steelers versus the Ravens game. It was on Prime Video, and if you don't possess a subscription to Prime Video, then you weren't able to watch that game.
My favorite quote I saw was they put a paywall up.
Yeah, that's
They were the paywalled game of the week. Like, you had to pay to be able to view it.
You absolutely did.
that's
If you
true.
don't have that subscription, you got to go pay to get it. Some of the quotes I found online were, "NFL is a bunch of demons for making the Steelers-Ravens games only available on Prime. Watching sports in America is starting to require multiple streaming services just to finish the full season. The NFL is greedy, making regular people pay for Prime. I won't do it. The Monday night game actually is on ESPN and ABC, but the Steelers-Ravens is only on Amazon Prime." They're referring to this game right here. It's on ESPN, which you got to pay for, but it's also on ABC. So it's
But if you have regular cable, you can watch it.
on ABC, not ESPN.
Correct.
So it's on the network. So I wanted to ask you guys, again, but now we're here in the playoffs, which to me is a different, like watching a regular season game.
It's not.
Fine.
It's not different. They did it
all right,
last year.
cool. So what do you guys think about, this right here, not able to watch your beloved Steelers or Ravens if you don't have Amazon Prime?
They've been doing it for a while now, so I'm not shocked about it. What did they get, like 100 million, right?
Yeah, it was a lot.
I mean, they're going to do that every time. And they've already conditioned us because, like you had said, and like we had discussed before in the season, they've been like having all these games on these different
Amazon's
streaming
every
services.
Thursday night.
Exactly. But then
Right?
you also had, what was it on?
Christmas?
ESPN Plus. They had a game on there. They had the Christmas one on Netflix.
So I actually did a deep dive into this one because I really wanted to see what this is all about, right? So last year, same thing. Same topic, same everything. First,
But they
wild
had-
card
last year
weekend, it was Miami and Kansas City. Peacock.
That was that very
That was
cold
the
game.
Peacock one.
That was a cold
Yep,
game, right?
and you needed Peacock to do it, and people were outraged about it. Right?
You couldn't watch it on NBC.
Correct. So it was blacked out for anybody
that's
around
ridiculous.
that. But they set a record when they did that. 27.6 viewers last year when they did that.
Million?
27.6 million average viewers for that game. So they did this, everyone's outraged, but yet it set a record for most views.
I know, but what the behind the scenes, the reason that they're doing it, they don't even want all the games. They want a few of the games because
One.
they want you to sign up for it,
Yeah.
forget you have it, and then pay for a full year.
Well, I'm not saying what they're trying to
No,
do.
I know,
totally
it's just-
understand.
yeah,
but,
it's just-
but fans are outraged,
Yeah.
but yet 27.6 million, the biggest views last year of a game
No,
was
yeah, I
that
understand.
game.
Yeah.
That was broken this year on Christmas, which again was a subscription because it was Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix. So we did it again. Us fans who are complaining did it again, right? Well, what did the NFL do? Let's try it again real quick with Prime this time.
Yeah.
One playoff game.
I mean, I know we're gonna get it. Also,
Guess what?
It's
They just
$10
broke the record again.
tonight.
That game broke the most viewing records ever.
Oh, the
32.1 million average viewers for that Steelers Ravens game.
But what's a normal game? What's a normal?
Around 21 average.
So how could normal be 21 when it's free, and then when you have to
Because
pay for
when you
it,
pay
30?
for it, you're going to watch it.
Yeah, you are gonna. Yeah, that's true.
So I even looked it up. If you just bought a basic Prime membership, video Prime membership, you don't even want the Prime.
This is what I come to the show for.
Yeah.
To get these deep dive nuggets. Go ahead.
$8.99 a month for that, right?
Yeah.
So if you take the $8.99 and of course do simple math to the 32.1, they just made $288.9 million on that game. Minimum. If everyone signed up for an actual Prime membership, they made around $480 million.
That's insane.
That's why the NFL doesn't care.
Roger Goodell says the bottom line is you have to go where the fans are, and our fans are moving on to streaming platforms. Netflix is a good example of that. Peacock, a good example of that. Amazon. Our fans are on different platforms, and we need to reach them. But at the same time, over 85% of our games are still available on free television. We think that we have the most fan-friendly policies. 100% of our games for the two teams participating. Maybe I copied that wrong, but anyways, Keegan,
From what I
any
understand,
thoughts?
what you're saying right there is, I believe the local people, like if it's your local team playing,
Yeah,
you got
you get it.
access to it.
Yeah,
You don't
of
have to
course.
buy the membership, but anybody nationwide that's not in that area.
Without getting on too much tangents, but if you're local, you still do pay for it because when you get cable, there's a fee for it on there that's like local and sports regional broadcasting or something like
Yeah.
that. But go ahead, Keegan.
Yeah, I don't agree with the fact that they're fan friendly. I mean, they certainly don't make it easy or cheap to go and watch any of the games.
Yeah.
It's
But-
not fan friendly at all. And
No.
the reality is, though, is we do have disgruntled people. We are always going to have disgruntled people, but the numbers are showing that they don't care.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
care?
Yeah.
Just
And
like-
what he said, they're reaching the other fans on different platforms because that's what they think that they need to do. And like
Yeah.
you said, those figures back it up.
Yeah, the figures
They
are
are.
backing it up.
See, I don't know.
This is like the Christmas games. LeBron. Football. Basketball is Christmas. We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit. They're kind of being a little dishonest. They're saying that they're trying to go where the people are.
They're going where the money is.
Yeah, that's it. They're going
Yeah,
where the
of
money
course.
is, and they're gonna like. But my thing is like it's not like I have all these services. I got all of them. You know what I mean? But like, and it's not like I'm gonna. Even if I didn't have it, I would have bought it just to watch the game for sure. But
I did on that Peacock one.
yes, but we don't want this to be. We don't want this to be the trend. But my thought was and this was kind of silly, but I was thinking thinking, watch, how can I fix this though? Because I said, and I was like, dude, put it on my taxes, man. Put it on my taxes. If I work a 9 to 5, or even me, like I'm a 1099 employee, I'll pay some money
Football
at the end
tax?
for football for free. Football is a business.
But it's not for free.
I know. I totally get it, but it should be for free. Football, maybe not going to games and stuff, but 12 years ago, like Obama and Hillary, they were like, everybody needs to have access to internet. So they made it happen, and everybody got phones. And I think if I was president, 2025, every red-blooded American has got to have access to football, all the games.
America,
Tax
vote for Adam.
whatever you got to do.
Here's my question for you guys, and see how you guys feel about this, because I watch a lot of racing sports, and racing sports, it's either on Sunday or on Saturday, and that's it, and it's once a week or however throughout the schedule. It doesn't have multiple games throughout the week and things like that. But if I wanted to just watch that one section of, let's say Supercross, because that started on last Saturday, I can pay for a streaming service that has all of the Supercrosses on it, and I don't have to go through and buy different streaming services just for the one thing. If NFL did something like that, I know they do Sunday Ticket, but it's still not the same. They don't have all of the games on Sunday Ticket. Would that be more of a viable thing that people would be okay with?
I don't know, maybe, because I don't know. It depends on what area you're in, you know?
And the price.
Yeah, because some people don't, like me personally, I don't have to pay anything because the Niners are in market. And that's really the only one I really, really, really want to watch. But I don't know. And I guess I'm saying I don't think all of them should be free, but I don't know. That was just kind of a joke about tax me so I can watch football.
Of course.
I do think it's like, America, football is America's game. It passed baseball a long, long time ago. And I do think is like, should be able to watch football. Anybody should be American, I think. But
if you were an honest, true football fan like you guys are, wouldn't it be?
Is there any non-American in the room?
Yeah,
Just kidding. I'm an American citizen. Don't worry, guys.
No, it's just like what else?
That got deep real quick.
Yeah, that got really deep. Like, what else is it for free that we get? Like, what do we get as being Americans? Like, what do we get for free?
Nothing.
Taxes.
Football's free to leave, it ain't free for everybody.
Yeah,
Free
yeah,
to
yeah.
pay taxes.
Yeah, who knows, man? But anyways, I'm tired of seeing the games up behind the paywall, like Ryan said. I don't like to see it that way. I don't like for anybody like that night to be getting all ready. And maybe you got a party, friends are coming over. You're gonna pay the $10, but it just feels like they got you. And I don't like being felt like I'm like in a noose by anybody.
But they do, and
yeah, they do,
and they have.
All right, we're gonna talk about Mike.
Mike.
There's been a
Mic
lot
check,
of
1 2 1 2.
a lot of coaching changes. Mike Vrabel, Kelly, he kind of said last week, so good for you, Kelly. Mike Vrabel is in.
He's in
for the Patriots.
Mike McCarthy
is out.
Yeah, and Mike Tomlin.
Maybe, yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a yes, no, maybe so situation over here.
AI, when I create the video, finds your face.
That's gonna be great.
I hope it just finds it and clips that out automatically for me. But yeah, and potentially Deion Sanders in. People were saying today, there's no way after Jerry Jones all season rode with Mike McCarthy and would refuse to even say one negative thing about him. There's no way he fired McCarthy today without a verbal agreement from Deion or something.
Especially with the fact that you lost a lot of candidacy to be able to interview this week with like anybody from the Lions. Like you shut that window because now they're in game mode. So
you're right.
They're behind everyone that Ben Johnson went and interviewed with, everyone that the defensive coordinator went and interviewed with. It's but done. They got to go back to game mode now, and there's no more interviewing. So they kind of lost that chance to go after those.
I swear I just read an article this week that said that the Cowboys denied his request to go interview for like the Bears job.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're not allowing him to go interview
so
somewhere.
They hadn't got a yes or no from whoever they're going after. Is what it was. But I saw funny speculation because everything's going out there, like we were saying about these coaches. I saw one today that says Mike McCarthy out, Mike Tomlin possible trade.
Maybe.
Change of face, you switch the guys up.
Who knows? McCarthy doesn't seem like a Steeler guy.
But Tomlin actually has a no trade clause, so he's technically not going anywhere now.
I would. Nothing about that Steelers game told me Tomlin should be gone. People are just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous in my opinion. I think Tomlin is safe. I think he's going to sit there. I mean, if he shakes the world up and does change teams, that'd be crazy. But
yeah, no.
It is.
So yeah, for sure. But one thing about the Deion thing, I don't know how he could go to the Cowboys though if he's so adamant about having his son be the quarterback. They just paid Dak a bunch of money.
Yeah, I don't see Dion going anywhere other than where his son could possibly go.
Yeah, which is probably to me going to be like a lesser franchise, like somebody that's because
Go ahead and say it.
The Raiders. No, I'm just kidding. Or the Panthers. No, or the Browns.
He
No, I'm
seemed
just
pretty
kidding.
keen on the Titans, actually.
Yeah. You know, something like that. Somewhere that's less established because, like, you know, what he's trying to do doesn't happen in the NFL where it's like, you know, you're a coach quarterback combo, like, you know, you're all coming together. So, but yeah. All right. So, Pigskin Bracket Challenge. We already talked about that. We already talked about Cool Kids Club. What else do we got to wrap the show up with here, guys?
Who's your picks next week, I guess?
Oh, yeah. That's what we're going to talk about.
What are we gonna do there?
Crazy. All right. Gary, give us some time here. We got to get to that real fast.
Give us
All
some
right.
time.
I can't give you any time. I do not control the clock.
Gary, stretch time constraints as we know them.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Strange. All right, so we got the Chiefs Texans. Who do you guys got? Who do you want, and who's going to win that?
Who do I want? Texans. Who
Yeah.
I think is going to win? Chiefs.
Keegan?
Agreed.
Same. Yeah, but we all want. Nobody wants the Chiefs. That's why it would have been funny if Robert was here tonight. He was like, we were maybe going to get this guy to come in and fill in short notice. That's a Chiefs fan. I was just going to land blast him all episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really wanted to tell him my cheating joke. You know what I mean? I was saying that. I was like working on that last night. There we got the matchup that everybody wants to see this weekend. We got the Bills versus the Ravens. Somebody's going home. Number 2, Bills in Buffalo, going to be cold, snowing on the forecast, you think? But anyways, cold game. Who you guys got? Bills, Ravens.
I got the Bills.
Bills as well.
Bills as well.
It's going to be a fun game, though, I think.
All right, here we go. Lions, Commanders. I already know who you guys got, but 8.5-point favorites in the playoffs. 8.5 points. The Lions are favored over the Commanders. Do you guys like that? Do you think the Commanders will beat the spread, or you think they're going to get whomped on? I think they're going to beat that spread. I think it's going to be like a 7-point game.
I think that the Lions have earned that, and I think that they'll be fine. I think
You think they're going to
be
cover 8.5?
easy. Yeah.
I would like to see a one-sided game for once in that game. I want to see the Lions just destroy them and show everyone what they're really made of.
You know what? And that could happen. I won't be surprised if that happens.
Commanders have had a Cinderella year all year, winning that last second games several different times this year. I don't give anything against them. They played their hearts out this year, but I think they've met their match.
I think the only shot they got is Jaden Daniels. He can't know where he's
Remember,
at right
Montgomery's
now.
coming back.
He can't know that you know what I mean? Like, life happens fast. Last year he's playing in college ball, and now he's in the NFL playoffs. He'll one day it'll all slow down and he'll realize what was happening, but he's in the thick of it now. And that could be good for them.
Well, he was the leading rusher last game, too, so that's not going to happen probably.
Last one. Eagles versus. We know they're going to play the Rams, guys. Come on. But either the Rams or the Vikings, it's already set in stone that they're going to play them. Regardless of who they play, does it matter, guys? You know I'm going for the Rams. Rams are going to beat the Eagles.
I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. So I think they'll beat whoever they
I'm
are.
agreeing with Keegan. I think what it is, and what I like so far about both these games, I honestly do. I think you're seeing there's going to be a secret weapon that comes out. It's not really a secret. They're just not utilizing it in the game one. A.J. Brown, one catch.
I know. He was reading
Cooper
a book.
Kupp, nothing.
Yeah.
That's a whole other side of the game plan that you get to later if that first part's not working. And I think that's what you saw with the Eagles game is they didn't have to use A.J. Brown this game. They didn't have to target him like crazy because Goddard was open underneath and Saquon was doing his thing.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think so. I guess I'm kind of I'm hopeful that the Rams win, but it is going to be tough in Philadelphia with the weather, Stafford, all those things.
And the defense.
So, if I actually was betting money on it, I'd probably go with the Eagles too. But I really want the Rams to get there. I think they're a fun team to watch. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Come back next week. We'll be watching more playoff games and talking more football. Huddle Up on 93Q.